Now, visitors' numbers to this year's Buxton Festival Fringe were up 11% on last year. And for 2014, the festival has a new chair. Keith Savage has taken over from Stephanie Billen, who held the post for the last 5 years. Keith has been a long-term committee member, and he joins us now from our Buxton studio. Afternoon, Keith. No pressure, then, is the first question.
No pressure at all, Andy. No, Stephanie was a brilliant chair of the Fringe. The Fringe is well established in the arts world by now. It's been running for 35 years. I've been an audience member for the last 20, a committee member for the last 10. So whilst I feel part very much of what the Fringe is and the Fringe history, Stephanie's left a very strong legacy for anyone to take on. So there's no real pressure because everything's in place.
So what do you have to do as chair then?
I'm rapidly surprised by the number of jobs I have to do as chair. I think this weekend we're involved in setting up and taking down a stall at the University of Derby in the Dome in Buxton. Last night we were looking at a number of entries for the cover design for next year's programme, all produced by University of Derby illustration students. So that it's going to be mixed and varied, I think, but so far it's all pleasure.
Is it the best job in the world, though, for you? Because you get to see so many different things, don't you?
I get to see things I never expected to see, probably. But it is a huge honour. When I was asked to do the job, someone said, well, you'll never get a better offer in your life in terms of in terms of the honour that goes with it. Because whilst it's all voluntary work, to see something of the sort happen every July, it seems like a minor miracle to me that this festival, which we've been planning for 12 months, suddenly bursts forth and happens on the streets of the town. So it's great pleasure and great fun.
And it comes around all too quickly, doesn't it?
Yes. I mean, even now we're thinking, well, the last festival was 4 months ago, but that means the next one is less than 8 months away. And as I say, we've started planning for the cover design already. We're opening for events for people to enter next year's Fringe on the 1st of December, and we've got 3 or 4 months where entries will come in, and then after that we'll spend a lot of time designing the programme, proofreading, getting the website up to date. So it's non-stop work really, but it's fun.
And what about new venues? Are you getting those coming on board? Not just the acts, but places to put those acts on?
Yes, I mean we have already about 40 venues in and around Buxton, including some towns and villages well away really. Last year we had a brilliant poetry festival in Lytton. One of the hotels in Hartington is available for a venue. But I'm pleased to say that this year we have some clubs they've always been there on Buxton Marketplace, Level 2 and the Gaslight, for example, but they're going to be managed as Fringe venues this year for the first time. Sian Dudley, who used to work at the Opera House's Youth Theatre, is taking on the job of managing those venues, so that will extend the range of places that people have got to perform. I mean, we have very tiny venues, Scrivener's Bookshop near the Marketplace in Buxton, that produces events for about audiences of about 12. If you go out to the University Dome, for example, though, more like 1,000 people will be in there. So it's a huge range and variety that's available.
What about performing yourself?
Oh, God, no, I know I know my limitations, so...
Well, would you like to do it? I mean, do you think it takes a special sort of person to get up there and say, look, here we go, here's some poetry, here's some comedy, here's a play or whatever?
I'm always full of admiration for those people that do take part because, I mean, one of the things we do on the Fringe, which not every arts festival does do, but we attempt to provide reviews of all the shows that take place. And obviously people are looking for good reviews or hoping for good reviews, but when I've met people that have been perhaps slightly disappointed or slightly puzzled by the reviews that they've had, it only makes you all the more aware of how brave people are to put themselves in front of potentially hundreds or thousands in audience terms and accept the response that they get. But Buxton's a friendly town and the audiences are equally friendly and supportive by and large.
Do you get the time to go to other Fringe festivals around the country or not?
Not as much as I would like to do. I mean, I'm busy in all sorts of other things. Very occasionally, I go to the Sidmouth Folk Festival, which has a Fringe festival, which comes straight after Buxton, pretty much. I've never got to Edinburgh yet, but another time, perhaps.
You've said it on the radio. Anything's possible now. It might just happen. You might just get that phone call that says you're coming up to the Edinburgh Fringe next.
Who knows?
What do you like to watch? What do you like to be entertained by?
Well, I'm old-fashioned enough, I suppose, still to like a good story. So when it comes to the theatre and drama that we have, I mean, it's very wide-ranging. But there was a brilliant production of Hamlet in Poole's Cavern last year, for example. So the combination of the story, the drama, and being in a cave, that couldn't help but succeed, could it really? So that was splendid. Other things that were especially successful last year, I think we had for the first time live outdoor music performed on the pump room roof, which is part of the Crescent development. So we had bands standing on the roof playing to people sitting on the grass slopes in front of them. So those kinds of things which mix story but mix a sense of community are the things that I think work especially well.
Can the chair get excited by things then?
I suppose the only thing I need to be careful of is if anyone thinks I'm sort of in favouring one act or one performance or one venue over another. And I do have several hats on, because there's a short film competition that is part of the Fringe, for example, but I'm bound to say I'm part of organising and running that, so I need to take care that I promote everything as well as we can.
How many hours have you got in your day?
Same as you, Andy.
You just work for more of them, though, don't you?
I get paid for a few of them.
So the 1st of December, then, is when...
1st of December will be open for entries. We're having a modest launch party at one of the local art galleries at the Green Man, but we won't be there for too long because we're hoping to have loads of entries to receive, process and get onto the website as soon as possible.
Keith, I can't wait to talk to you when all the programme's getting put together and we find out where you are then. Yeah.
And I hope to see you in Buxton in July, Andy.
Don't you worry, you will. Keith Savage, who is the new chair for the Buxton Fringe Festival on BBC Radio Derby.